Hello, welcome to the Run to Remember Memorial Marathon podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. This episode, we have Craig Freeman, Dave Slezickey, and Shane Pate, the city managers of Oklahoma City, the Village, and Nichols Hills, the three cities the Memorial Marathon runs through. Captain Audrea George with the Oklahoma City Police will steer us through security at the marathon, and we caught up with Governor Kevin Stitt after the quarter marathon training run. The 2025 OKC Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 25th through the 27th. Visit okcmarathon.com and sign up to run, walk, or volunteer. All right, Carrie.
We are on the downhill side.
I know, it's exciting.
Yes, it is, but we're over 21,000 runners. You guys, I think we're going to sell out of all the races, and I'm not sure that it won't happen before the expo. So don't delay.
Don't hesitate.
Don't hesitate. If you want to do it, jump in.
And we've added some more countries, which is exciting.
A couple more countries.
All the way from Japan,
Honduras,
which is amazing. Yeah,
all 50 states. So we're up to 14 countries. We are right. The national trend is about 15 to 20% ahead of last year, and we are a little over 20% increase from last year. So we're right at the national trend, or beating it, and that's thanks to all of these runners who have said yes.
Yeah.
Become Run to Remember, so we're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to be out there, and I'm excited and looking forward to race weekend. And let's talk about some of the legends who are going to be in town that weekend.
Well, we have more than a dozen legends joining us at the expo. Meb, who's, Meb goes by his first name. He won the...
He needs no introduction.
He needs no introduction. He won... We'll have 4 Olympians here, and we're Olympic City now, so it's cool that we're bringing
That's
Olympic
super cool.
runners.
Yeah.
But Meb won the silver, Joan won the gold, and Dina won the bronze, and Dakota was like 12th place this year in Paris. And we have some great Olympian runners who have the mindset. We've got past winners coming back, Jerry Faulkner and Peter Euler and Kat Lyle. I mean, these folks, they can't get enough of us. We love that.
Right.
So we're excited to have them come back.
I love that they come back.
Me too.
Yeah, super fun. And then also, if you have a favorite running song.
Sweet Caroline.
Well, of course.
Of course, that's my favorite song.
That's an easy go-to.
Yeah. Tyler Media is taking the votes now, so make sure you get on their website and pick your favorite one and let them know what keeps you moving down the road.
Yeah, I would have to think about what mine is. I don't know.
Well, you've got a few days, but
I've
get on there and vote.
I've got some time on my feet to.
That's right.
With my
Think about it while you're
and,
training.
Yeah, when you're not listening to our podcast,
That's right,
of course.
of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to turn to our first guest today, which are 3 city leaders that we really could not do this race without. When we think about how we run through the streets of Oklahoma City, Nichols Hills, and the Village, and just the collaboration that takes, and just the details involved and all
and
of
the
that.
hospitality that these folks give us as we come to their city.
We've got Craig Freeman from the city manager of Oklahoma City, Dave Slezickey, his name, Dave. We're going to call you Dave.
That works.
Dave, if anyone breaks the law in the Village, they should have to say your name 100 times.
That's a really
them
good
write it on the
idea.
board.
I know.
I think that would be a good punishment.
He even
Let's do a
provided
mural.
me with phonetic spelling and all, but it's still that's
The good news is he knows how to say it.
That's right. And then we've got Shane Pate from Nichols Hills. So thank you guys for joining us, and thanks for the collaboration that is involved in getting this race going every
It's
year.
great. It's great. We're really grateful to have the memorial go through so many cities like that, because it really is representative of the collaboration that what the memorial's about and what happened in our city and across the nation. So we're really thankful to be able to be a
And
part
so,
of it.
Craig, we start off in Oklahoma City.
Right.
So kind of walk us through what we see in Oklahoma City.
Well, in Oklahoma City, I think to me, I think what I love is the way that, all of our employees participate. It's like we've got security from police, and you'll talk with Captain George here in a little bit. But we've got people from Public Works and Parks and all kinds of different departments that participate, and our employees love being a part of that. But then also, I think what I love is as you go through the city, you see how it's really what's important. Like the greatest thing about Oklahoma City is the people.
Right.
And you see people lining the streets and supporting the runners and just carrying people on. And I think that really, again, is so representative of what the memorial's about. So it's a great opportunity to see a big part of the city going through the north part, going through the east part of the city as well. And so really grateful that the race has expanded through the years to include so many portions of the city.
Well, it takes a lot of resources on all 3 of your parts, and we don't take a day of that for granted, especially when budgets are tightening and things are harder and people are retiring who lived through the bombing. So this is a new story for some people. But you really, guys, your cities really do go all in. And Shane talked to us about like Nichols Hills. As we run through Nichols Hills, you guys we're running through some of the best parts.
Yeah, we like to think of it as a scenic view on during the marathon. No, we have our police and fire out helping support, but our community really feels honored to be a part of this every year. We have residents who were a part, either they were personally affected by it, they were part of a response or recovery effort. We have firemen who, I think our last fireman who was part of the response team from Nichols Hills retired just a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we still have younger firemen who know and experience the trauma that he had. If we had a dripping faucet, he couldn't sleep. So it's really affected our community just like it has Oklahoma City, and so we just really honor to be a part of it. What residents can experience for us, the main drag is through Grand Boulevard Park, and this will be one of the first years we don't have the road work under construction there, which is going to be nice. But we are doing a park improvement along the side so people can see a $2 million project about to get underway. So it's an exciting time for all of us. Residents get to come out from Nichols Hills and sit in their front lawn, and we encourage them to do that and cheer on the runners. I myself will be volunteering at a watering station, so looking forward to that as well.
Great.
And Dave, what about the village?
We're thrilled to be part of it too, and as Craig mentioned, we're not getting any younger, and time passes. My sister sent me a picture today from 1999, and I was like, oh, that's just like 2 years ago. That wasn't 25 years ago, but I think it's also a great way to remind our younger population of the meaning of the marathon and the memorial, and honor everyone through that. So we have, we call them marathon parties. People just come, go to their neighbors' yards. As it moves around, they just visit. Good way to build community, meet new people, and get out there and support the runners as they're coming through.
Great.
Well, you guys, I mean, you talk a lot about how grateful you are, but we do kind of take over your streets. And we do kind of inconvenience some folks, and we're aware of that, because if we weren't, we'd got enough calls to remind us. But we are grateful that you guys are willing to give us these streets, but we have time limits, and Captain George will talk about that in a little bit as well. We'll give her all the hard stuff. But I think giving us your streets, you guys make sure they're in great shape. Talk to us a little bit about what the resources it takes for you guys to let us run 25,000 people through your streets.
I think for us, it's automatic that every year leading up to the memorial, to the marathon, that people are going out and checking the streets, checking areas just to make sure we don't have issues that are there, and communicating with your team. So it's many people getting involved with it, cleaning up areas around the race course, and making sure that, it's just an all hands on deck, everyone pulling in and making sure that we're putting our best foot forward for the city. You come up to the race day, it's like you can't get from the east side of the city to the west side of the city very easily through the central part, and you just got to recognize that's how it is during the race time.
Just a few hours.
But, yeah, and it is, but it's such an exciting time, and it creates such energy, and it's such an exciting weekend, too. There's just so much activity going on in the metro area during that time.
It really is.
It's a lot of resources there, but it's well worth it.
What do you guys each look forward to about race day and race weekend? And
The thing that I think about a lot, honestly, is it's not so much, you say you're taking on some of our resources, but it really is a privilege for us. This was a terrible, evil event that you have turned into good. And every year it makes me think of the Bible in the book of Genesis, when Joshua was telling his brothers who had sold him into slavery that what you had meant for evil, God has chosen to save lives. And I've seen people use the marathon as a goal to help them come through some sort of trial they've dealt with. They've come out of divorce, or they're in recovery, or something like that, it has become such a meaningful thing for them. And so I know for our employees, they get that. And for the firemen who were here and had been a part of the response, it was a healing process for them as well. And so it's really something that is it brings out this community spirit of just like we're healing here. We're still here healing after all this time. And so we don't see it as any kind of burden of resources, but We absolutely do everything we can. We have public works crews out helping with blockades on certain streets. Our police department works hand in hand with Oklahoma City and the village, and they get together early in the year and start talking about, are there any ways we can refine things or do things to make things more safe and secure for people? So it is, like Craig said, almost automatic. This is just what we're going to do this year.
Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's just been so refined that we do it and we cooperate and we partner together. I think our employees, our public works, police and fire and public safety that do this, they're honored to do it. It's just amazing the inspirational stories that you see from the participants out there. It's not the fastest runner, the first one across. It's someone that's, doing their first 5K, their first half marathon. Just everyone has a story out there, and I agree that it is a lot of healing and just a wonderful part to see the whole metro community take part of this, and we're honored to be part of it. And, it's definitely not an imposition by any means. I had one resident that complained one time because they couldn't get out to go somewhere because there's a marathon going on, and they called back like 2 days later and greatly apologized because they didn't realize the impact of what was really happening on the street that they lived in. And now they celebrate it every year and invite friends over and family and just have a fun day watching everything.
And Carrie, I think you all do a good job of getting the word out to people that are impacted by the course.
Right. If your street's impacted, you'll start to see yard signs saying "Don't park" or "Be careful" or "Here's what's happening this day." And we've tried to use these best practices. First, we tried to paper all the cars, and it's like, well, that might be someone visiting you, and they didn't know. So now we know that you put street signs in. Those signs in, people get the message. And, it's on the website. Every neighbor gets a postcard, but it still takes a lot of communication.
Right.
For residents to hear who might be landlocked in by the race, don't try to call DoorDash or Uber Eats.
That's a great idea. That's a great point.
They get turned away.
It'll be
Do
cold
they?
when it gets there.
Wow, that's kind of the evolution of the race, because that was never part of our.
Even think of that,
No, that's a great point. Oh, gosh, Captain George, she must be tough on those guys. No, that's a really good point, and I really hadn't thought of it. But,
No, yeah.
But, they'll get turned down. We talk a lot about Day of Darkness and Years of Light. The marathon is part of that light. Just real quick, tell us what you guys see as either your favorite spot or your favorite thing that, Craig, I know your son has run several times, but what is it that makes this race different than anything else you see?
For me, I think the energy that it brings to the community it's hard to describe. You've got to come and experience it. It just brings another level of energy into the community, and I think the marathon itself, the various runs, picture resilience, and that's what this is really about. So I think I don't know that I would pick a favorite spot. If I was running, it'd be the finish line. I'm not running, but if I was, I'd be the finish line.
That's the easy
Yeah,
answer.
that's right. But I think it's really throughout the entire course. It's just different pockets, different districts, different neighborhoods, cities that are coming together and cheering everybody on. For those that are running, they're out there working hard and running and continuing on. For those that aren't, they're lifting people up and cheering them along. And I think, to me, it's the energy that it brings for our communities.
It's great.
Shane?
Well, in Oklahoma City, I would say I have two favorite places. One's a lot of people's favorite, and that's Gorilla Hill. And then the second would just be downtown. There's so much energy. Way before the sun is up, people are getting ready and excited. In Nichols Hills, there's a church group that actually meets with a tent in the middle of our park, and they have a service while that's going on.
Yeah, we had him on.
Yeah.
Nichols Hills Methodist.
That's right.
And they hang shoes from trees and have a band. They have a big party.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dave?
I'm going to disagree slightly with my colleagues here. I'm going to say anywhere in the village is the best place to watch
Okay.
race. But,
That's a good city
Yeah,
manager.
that's right.
I think it just exemplifies our Oklahoma kindness and the spirit and the energy that's out there and just bringing everyone together throughout the whole community. Just watching neighbors, businesses, everyone just out there to support and enjoy themselves.
I also love the way that it spills into Scissortail now, just how
Right.
everything draws together. And it's just, after the race, it's like there's just kind of this community gathering, like a huge neighborhood party
Right.
that's going on there, and people just hanging out and enjoying each other. So it's
Free beer helps with that.
And ice cream.
And ice cream.
encourages people.
Yeah. You guys, seriously, thank you, A, for keep answering my calls, and B, just for the spirit and the heart you bring to this. It takes the right people. And A lot of my counterparts across the country would not have 3 city managers sitting here
sit down
with the
and-
same
yeah,
spirit. So
yeah.
thank you guys.
And we would all agree too, it's really not the 3 of us at all. It's all of our teams that are out
Yes.
there, and they love doing it.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Great collaboration. Thank you.
One last thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but do you guys know about the nerd clusters?
No.
Well, I'll let Kristen tell you
Yeah,
about them.
no,
Because she's the
so-
runner of the group.
Well, Nerds clusters have just taken off as a huge hit for runners to use as they're running as nutrition. And we got it straight from our own medical director, Dr. Coleman. He said it's a great source of nutrition.
So the next time you're out running or walking, pop these in your mouth. It gives you a little sugar buzz and a little moisture in your mouth. And
That'll be the closest I get to the marathon.
same with me, which is why I keep passing these out.
Whatever. We'll take it. Thank you all for
Thank
joining
you.
us
Thank
today.
you very
you.
much, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Expand Energy understands the importance of supporting race participants and serves as the marathon's cheer and entertainment sponsor. Expand also hosts a water stop on their campus.
Hi, I'm Casey Fisher with Expand Energy. I'm proud to work for a company that invests in Oklahoma City and preserving its history. The marathon is personal to me because my family lost a loved one on April 19th. It's important that we remember those who lost their lives and honor the ones who are still impacted today. On Marathon Sunday, we'll be cheering for you at the Expand Energy Water Stop while also remembering why we run.
Our next guest we've been working with closely since the conclusion of the 2024 race because the race starts preparing
Never
right
stops.
away, never
Yep.
stops. Audrea George is here, Oklahoma City Police Captain. Captain George, thanks for joining us today. And we're just excited to hear about what all you do and about, you help keep the runners safe.
She is a
on
sausage
race day.
maker. She puts it all together.
Yes,
So,
yeah. I mean,
yes,
there's
the-
a lot to plan, the logistics and the safety of the participants and the spectators, so
Yes.
just kind of let's talk
26
about
miles of safety.
26 miles of safety and 2 days of safety. And really, if you put your head to it, it's a little mind-boggling. But yes, we do start planning very early. Safety is, of course, the most important thing in my mind of the race. I know others have concerns of, where's my water stop? Can I get to it there? How can I get to it? But really, the biggest thing everybody needs to have in their minds is safety.
Well, but I think that, the runners are able to have those concerns because they feel safe, that the preparation has gone on and that you've been planning for a year.
Right.
And that helps the runners focus on what they're there to
Yeah,
do.
without going into any of the details, because we're not going to give our safety plan away.
Right.
But it is one that after 2013, Boston looked at. They were surprised at how detailed we had. What you've done is miraculous, but we never take it for granted.
We never take it for granted, and we're always looking at how can we improve, what do we need to do better. It really takes an entire city to make this happen. So I know as the runners are coming out of the start line, they're seeing trucks lining the roadways. So all of these things come into place because I don't want the runners to have to worry about
Right.
anything. They are to concentrate on the race, give it their best, and enjoy it, because there's a lot of areas around the route too that there's a lot of enjoyment going on.
Right.
So, and then I have to take that into consideration too. Not only am I worried about the runners participating in the event, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of all the different parties along the route.
Right.
So
The spectators.
the spectators, there's a lot of people that we are making sure we keep safe.
And who all do you rely on for that? What all agencies come into play?
So OUPD helps. OHP is going to help this year as well. And of course, we go through the Village and Nichols Hills. Oklahoma City, you have IMSA, fire, Public Works, parks, utilities. I'm telling you, it takes the entire city to make this come together.
It really does, and we have some of our own security, and then these men and women really feel. I mean, we just protect our side, a little bit of like the finish line area or overnight our finish line area, so we can leave things out. But the work they're doing to put it together, and so it makes us put some rules out sometimes as we see
Sure.
things change. Our life has changed a lot. We opened an exhibit last week at the museum, and we're talking about, are we safer today? Well, the short answer is yes. The long answer is only because all these people are working together. I mean, 50-some agencies are working together every day to keep our country safer. It's very similar to the marathon. And Captain George brings all these people together, works with them, and makes sure that the streets are lined. And then part of it's up to us to see something, say
Right.
something, make sure you don't take something onto the course we don't want.
Right.
Let's start with no dogs.
Yeah, let's talk about the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, no dogs. I mean, unless you have a pre-approved, sanctioned dog, that means your veterinarian has signed off on it, no dogs are allowed. We have tried to be strict about this. I'm gonna just say this before she goes on the other stuff. It is an automatic DQ. If I'm not gonna chase you down, we'll get your number off the camera, you're done. You can go ahead and keep running, but you're not gonna have a time. And so, it sounds harsh, but we can't run with 26,000 people and everyone bringing an
Right,
animal.
an animal.
And so, keep that for your Saturday runs, but race morning, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So
here's my soapbox.
we are very clear on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no dogs, no dogs.
No dogs. Well, there are a lot of things that we don't want you to bring onto the route, of course. Backpacks, that is a definite no. We do not want you to bring scooters onto the route. We do not want bicycles on the route. We have specific people on bikes who are there to help.
And they're in uniform.
And yes, they are very distinguishable. So anybody else, if you are seen on the route on a bike or on a scooter, you will be taken or asked to leave the route. Sorry, we're not going to take anybody off the route, but we are going to definitely ask you to remove yourself from the route. And this is on the 26.2 miles. This is not just in the start line, finish line.
Correct.
Nowhere on the route should there be a bicycle, a scooter, a backpack, a dog, none of the above.
And included in the backpacks, we're also talking about hydration vests as well.
Correct. So I believe they're allowed a belt with a water container, but beyond that, no.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I think Oklahoma City, we have to keep learning as the race grows and becomes more and more popular, and is you don't just run across the course. When there are runners coming down the course, you don't just go block the street. And I've seen that a couple of times. I'm like, do people realize this is a sanctioned, timed course? These people have trained months for it. Do not get in their way. Stay behind, stay on the curb, be respectful, show the Oklahoma standard, but make sure we're doing our part, your part, and giving the roadway to the runners and the police and the course marshals.
That is correct. And, the Arts Festival is going on downtown at the same time, and people want to get to the Arts Festival. Well, what I can recommend on that is please park on the west side of the course, and you can make it to the Arts Festival with no problems whatsoever. If you're on the east side of the course and you're trying to make it to the west side, it's not going to happen. And it is unfair because you will see people trying to walk across the course, especially on Hudson, and that's just interfering with the people who have come out and have trained and are trying to do their best time. So please.
And it's the last mile or two, and they're
Right.
exhausted. I mean,
They are
they're
exhausted.
kicking it in, and then they're running around, people trying to get to a corn dog and a beer. So like, take a moment and be respectful and walk around, or as Captain George said, enter from the west side of the city, just for that Sunday morning, and then it's all yours.
Right. And just plan ahead,
Plan ahead.
Plan
That
ahead,
always
plan
helps.
your route and.
So the website has all the routes. Every route that we're protecting and people are running on, the routes are there. So just take a second, look at the route, and know a detour plan for yourself.
OKCmarathon.com.
Correct. And it just doesn't take just a couple of seconds to think, okay, I need to, go this direction instead of what I'm used to. And it's not really that big of an adjustment. Just be respectful of everybody who's out there.
And the same tips I would assume, for the people who live in the neighborhoods that are affected.
Yes.
Maybe if you're going to be landlocked that day, just to plan ahead.
Right.
Know your route ahead of time.
Right.
Keep your wagons, your baby strollers, your scooters, all that off the sanctioned course until after 1:30, or until we've cleared your neighborhood.
Right.
Or have a party.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stay home.
stay home, pick a portion.
Stay home, stay safe.
Stay
it's
next
back
to
back to
your-
our COVID
That's
rules.
right, that's right.
Right?
Gosh.
What about the course marshals? Let's talk about those for a minute.
So, it's 26.2 miles, so it's almost impossible to put an officer on every intersection. And so we do use course marshals. And the course marshals are there to let the vehicles and people know that the race is going on. They should already know that, but that the race is going on, and to convince them to, take a different route. The course marshals are volunteers, and they take a lot of abuse at times, and it's very unfair because they are really there trying to help the cause and provide a safe race for the runners. And it's just, please do not take your frustrations out on our course marshals. They are really trying to help us and do a great job.
And are they easily identified?
They are. They will
Yes.
have a vest on, and they will have a flag in their hand. So, yes, and they are trying to cheer on the runners as well. So they just, please give them the respect that they deserve, because
And
they
they're
are
out there all
volunteer.
6 hours.
They
too.
are, and they're volunteering their time. So,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think the most important part is the police and Homeland Security and the whole package you put together, which is remarkable. But it's an important day in Oklahoma City, and we're all about keeping everybody safe.
Correct. It is, and it's one day out of the year, and we just are wanting to honor the people whose lives were lost and the survivors, and I don't think it's too much to ask of our residents to just be respectful that day. Don't take it out on the officers, don't take it out on the course marshals. Know that the route, where the route is, know what we're running for, and just try to be a part of the atmosphere, and just enjoy the day.
Yeah, and I know this is, I'm sure I can't imagine what you feel like at the end of this race.
Oh, I feel great at the end of the race.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you what your favorite part of the day is, and my guess is it's when it's over, but you can't, I'm.
Bringing in tail end
you
Charlie,
can't-
I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't take the easy answer.
Okay.
What's your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part of the day is seeing the runners as they're coming off the start line. It is a flood of people, and they're excited. They're part of a great event. And then watching the residents along the route and how excited they are to actually have it on their city streets and on their neighborhoods, and the parties that they're having. It's just such a great day, and I just wish everybody had the opportunity to experience it, because once you experience it, you will never complain again.
right, yeah.
So if you can volunteer your time and go to one of those locations, you will never regret
Yeah,
it.
just like Dave said, he had somebody call and complain, and then
then
they
apologize.
experienced it
Right.
and haven't missed it since.
Right.
Yeah.
Just one last thing. We have times where we say you have to be to this point or
Correct.
else. At the Marine Corps Marathon, you got to cross the bridge by noon or you don't get to finish. We have some spots
We
now
do.
in the quarter and the full and the half.
Right.
Tell us why those are important.
So, we have volunteers out there for extremely long periods of time. I have officers out there for extremely long periods of time. And again, we wish everybody was respectful, but they're not. And so they've been enduring a lot of verbal, abuse at times.
And likely some weather.
And some weather. It's, it can be hot, and our officers are in, full uniform. So we do want everyone to enjoy the race, but we can't be out there forever. And it is unfair for the public too to have it locked down all day long.
Right.
So we'll just start with the quarter marathon. The quarter marathon, you have to be to 6th and Broadway by 7:45. The race starts at
That means
6:30.
you will have come under our new overpass.
Correct.
You'll see the light and you'll be there before 7:45.
Yes, you must be there before 7:45. A big part of this also is, we're kind of circling St. Anthony's, and we need to make sure we can get the ambulances to the hospital. People need to be able to get to the hospital, and so with this new route, we really needed to give it a time frame to be completed by, so that we can open up those roadways. So the 5K is an hour and a half of support, and then the marathon, you must be to the split which is at 50th and Western by 8:45. And if you're there afterwards, you will just be on to the half. So you have to go to the half. And then if you are not to 63rd and Grand by noon, we will ask you to jump on a lovely bus, and we will take you down to the finish line. So those are the main timeframes that we need everybody to abide by.
And people say, well, we'll just get on the sidewalk. There are not,
There are not
as great as
sidewalks.
we've done in Oklahoma City of adding sidewalks, there still are not sidewalks on every part of the course. And so we can't risk your life. You shouldn't be risking your life. So find a race that you can make the time.
Yes.
We're happy to help you switch that around, but don't put yourself, if you've done all this training, don't do it to yourself. Just
Right.
pick a race that best fits your time and go jump in it, and we're going to be there cheering you on the finish line.
Yeah.
The finish line is a great cheer zone.
It
really
is.
is.
It
It's
is.
the
Well,
best.
this is a huge undertaking, I know, and I know myself as a runner that I appreciate the ability to show up to the start line and not think about these little details.
That's
So I
great.
know that other runners do as well, but it's only because I know that such great things have been going on for not only the past year, but years and years
Yeah.
of
Thank you, Captain
collaboration.
George, to
Yeah.
the men and women who make this happen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The leadership at Hobby Lobby, many who are avid runners themselves, have proudly partnered with us as the sponsor of the Governor's Challenge since 2020.
Hello, my name is Mark Green, and on behalf of Hobby Lobby, we are honored to be a part of the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Our Oklahoma roots run deep in this great state, and we know firsthand that through tragedy comes our greatest strength, hope for tomorrow. It's because of that hope we are stronger together than apart, and that is why we are honored to support this great community we call home. Hobby Lobby celebrates with all Oklahomans today.
You did it! We're running in Oklahoma City!
All right, Carrie, we had a great training run with Governor Kevin Stitt. A few ran the malls and local running groups, and we caught up with the governor right around the downtown Oklahoma City area, and he's on his training and
He's on it, and it's, you always love weather in Oklahoma. It always gives you a little surprise. And so appreciate the governor's commitment to the marathon and just his willingness to go and challenge other people to get off the couch and come try to beat him.
yeah, okay, let's hear what he has to say. All right, we're joined right now with Governor Kevin Stitt. We just finished up a little training run to kick off, getting everybody excited for the Governor's Challenge, which you have done for how many years now?
This will be my seventh.
Wow.
Seventh. Can you believe that?
That's incredible.
Well, so
Last
why do you
year-
keep coming back?
Yeah.
You know, listen, I love promoting Oklahoma City, our state, fitness, and then also, this is such a historic event in our state, and we do a great job every year of coming together. We've got President Clinton coming back for the 30th anniversary to remember and teach the next generation what happened on April 19th. And just a great time to showcase our city and come together as a family and a community. And so I just love it, man. The volunteers that are out there along
Incredible.
the race, it's incredible. I don't know how many volunteers you have, but you've got like 25,000 runners come in. And so
About 3,500 volunteers.
35.
That's more runners than we had the first year,
Wow.
25 years ago. So you ran with a good group this morning, but
Yep.
do you run to relieve your stress, just to have fun? Is it just something you do for life, or what is it?
Well, I mean, I need to be running a little bit more, but
Just say you were
You look
faster this
good.
year than you were last
yes.
year.
Well, that's because I've done a few training runs before today.
Okay.
Because she's making me do 6.5 miles instead of the 5K this time.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm having to train a little bit more. But no, I mean, listen, just exercise and being out in nature and trying to stay in shape. And then if you do it with a community of friends, and I mean, I'm talking to these guys that have done every single marathon and they're part of these running clubs.
Amazing.
So it's just amazing. Whether you like to bike, I love to bike too. I've got I do that a little bit, and then swimming, and so it's just great, just
Cross
kind of stay
training.
active.
Yep. So we're 30th anniversary and 25th Memorial Marathon. The meaning of anniversaries and the importance of those. You talked a little bit about President Clinton coming, but why is it important to still remember?
Yeah. I mean, I think what happened here, we'll never forget. April 19th, 1995. I was a senior at Oklahoma State when it happened. I remember coming down here and seeing the turmoil and seeing all the national reporters, and the cleanup was happening, and it really affected all of us. Like, how could one person be such full of hate to do this? And so I think it's important that we share what happened, and then really show the 168 lives that were lost and the families that were destroyed, and then how we rebuilt out of those ashes. And the Oklahoma Standard was born, and we said that we created this beautiful park. And so I think it's just important that hate's not going to overcome good, and that's the message that Oklahomans have, and the Oklahoma Standard, which came out of that, and I call it neighbors walking with neighbors, and that's who we are as Oklahomans.
Yeah, I think and we always have been, but people stopped and watched, and now that is part of our DNA that everybody expects. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that a president of the United States is going to come back after 30 years, and we've had attorney generals and the U.S. Attorney General. We had so many people. It's like this is one of the biggest national things that happen, and it's a great way to also show off our great city, right, and our great state. We're the 20th largest city in the country now. People don't realize how much momentum Oklahoma has. It's been crazy. Did you see Texas, the article that coming out of Dallas Morning News?
Love that.
It was like talking about, hey, Texas, we don't have to worry about the coast. We have to compete with Oklahoma right now.
Love it.
Because we're losing more people to Oklahoma than Oklahoma moving to Texas.
I figured the good Lord put us on top for the reason.
I say that too. That's right. We're a step above Texas.
That's right. So relay's a little different this year. No relay. We're doing a quarter marathon. You're choosing 3 other friends. I know you're going to stack the team because you guys only had like 60 teams that beat you last year.
Yeah, last year you had a really good team. And if I remember correctly, was it all women last year? Did you
Yes,
do that?
yes,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
We got a couple of wonderful track stars from OU and OSU.
Oh my gosh.
And this year we're going to be announcing our team in a couple weeks, and it'll be something fun. We always do like either first responders or firefighters or teachers and
Very
or
thoughtful
veterans.
about that.
And last year we did women athletes, and so that was fun. That helped my
That
score.
helps your score
Helped
go up.
it,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. And then, Carrie, if you beat the governor's time, his team of 4, their time, you get a special.
You
I
get this
Beat the
shirt
Gov
on the back that
shirt.
says I
Right.
beat the Gov.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
It's
and,
fun.
And people kind of take pride in that, right?
Oh yeah, when they're running past me during the marathon, they're like, "I'm beating you, Governor," and it's a lot of fun. So it's fun being out with my friends and fellow Oklahomans and just sharing in our beautiful community.
Well, I have to say, you're a great sport about it. And I don't see a lot of governors lining up to do this. So thank you for running to remember and just being willing to come out here and generate some excitement and enthusiasm for the race and to keep focused on the mission. It means a lot to a lot of people. So we thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you all for what you're doing. And again, the museum is just amazing. If you haven't been through that, you've got to come bring your family. And I think you usually get free admission on race day.
On race day and on April 19th. So, I mean, if you have a bib on race weekend, you get to come in free. On April 19th, it's free. So come learn the
No
story if you
reason
don't
not
know
to see it. Yeah.
But thanks for being out here with us this morning.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Carrie. That
Here we
was a
go.
great
Oh my
collaboration
gosh.
of guests today. And
You know what? You just realize we all are so proud of the cities in which we live and just the spirit of the leadership and the public safety. No one wants this to happen again. Nobody wants to see what happened in New Orleans. It takes so many people to make sure we're safe, and you're still just worrying about every detail. So I appreciate the fact that what they bring and their energy they bring to the city.
And the
then
collaboration.
Captain George and her team.
Yeah, the
Gosh, we're
collaboration is-
lucky.
is
I sit
great.
at a table at a Running USA conference with Captain George and all the other big races. And I should have said this when she was on here, but we got to talk about things that we can do. Other cities are like, what? You guys do that in your city? You guys get along? Everybody? I mean, it really is a spirit that we have here that I personally don't take for granted. And every year when I sit at that table of big races around the country, I know how lucky we are,
Yeah.
how blessed we are. And anyway, I
Yeah.
just keep
Can't say
saying
enough.
that. Can't say it
I
enough.
know. And we are so close to race weekend, race day. It'd be a good time if you haven't yet to download the Memorial Marathon app.
Oh, yeah, the maps are on there,
Uh-huh.
the information's on there, the schedule's on there. We have got great legends, great moments at the expo. We will be live with the podcast
Yes,
at noon
yeah,
at the
that's
expo.
always fun.
We're going to be in the Why We Run area this year, not way in the back, so we'll be right in the center of the
Okay.
expo. And anyway, I think it'll be a great time, and I just hope that everyone will take advantage of the full weekend because the Why We Runs are getting full, and if you want to run both Saturday and Sunday, I hope you're not too late because we're every day stacking those up. But
Sure.
anyway, next week is an important week for us. It's the anniversary week, 30th anniversary, and we'll have people here from literally around the country. President Clinton will be here, but most importantly, on the podcast, you'll hear from a family member, a survivor, and a first responder, and why their Run to Remember is so important to them.
And I know just personally for me, hearing those stories, especially as you get so close to race day and, you're in the thick of you've done the training, but now you're just kind of in the mental, can
Right,
I
right.
do this? hearing those stories from people who were so closely affected, who lost a loved one, who were there that day as a survivor or
First
as a
responder.
first responder, it's the final motivation that you need to remember really, truly, to tie this all together of why we run and help you get over that mental hurdle, because at this point you've done the physical work.
Right.
You've done the training, but sometimes you can get a mental block of, can I do this? Can I run 26.2 miles? And hearing stories that are so touching and hearing the impact that this race has on people who were so greatly affected that day will be a great motivating
Well,
podcast.
I think often about, and we talk about this in a very serious way in our office, is we complain about sprinkles or rain or wind. Those men and women who did the rescue and recovery fought through all that
Sure.
in those very first hours. And so if they can do it and work to find a survivor or even someone's body or help a fellow first responder, that's the motivation that just reminds us that we all can do this. We can all do hard things.
Right.
And so we're excited to
Yeah.
hear from them, and I think you'll be inspired by their story.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode. Thank you for joining us. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Let us know your questions and tell us your running story at okcmarathon.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. The Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 25th through the 27th. And if you haven't already, sign up today at okcmarathon.com. This is your host, Kristen Fairs. Let's marathon.